Guillermo had all these plans for Mall of America.
Yeah. We were going to use the mall to our advantage, right?
No, wait. Just
okay.
Okay, look. I know that we have identified ourselves before as a flying saucer of Bull Bleep and a marching band to nowhere, but never has this been more evident than the amount of planning that has gone into us doing something at Mall of America, and I don't think we've succeeded at even getting a sample from the food court. Like, I don't think we have succeeded at anything.
We haven't.
From Mall of America, other than having Alvin Kamara and Dan Marino cancel on us.
Mm-hmm.
What have we accomplished?
We had Stephen A. on eating Burger King.
Guillermo, what is your state of mind, and where are we? It's Thursday of Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
We've accomplished nothing from Mall of America. We were going to be on roller coasters with cameras, and we were going to be riding Terrence Newman. Jerome Bettis was going to be walking around the food court grabbing samples.
Today's the day. If something's going to happen, it happens today.
But here's the thing.
I have a timeline of failure that we can go over.
Do you?
If you'd like. Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You have a timeline. Does it date back to the UCF stuff, or does it date back to before then?
No. This is a Super Bowl specific timeline of failure. There's lots of other things.
Wait a minute.
That we
Is
failed.
everything that's written on that piece of paper a timeline of failure?
Yeah, for the Super Bowl.
That looks like Kevin Spacey's books in the movie Seven. How much have you written down there?
It started off pretty big, and then I ran out of space on the page, so the font at the bottom is like 8 or so.
I love that it's on the back of the Alvin Kamara promotion sheet.
Yeah.
Who was Alvin Kamara going to be joining us on behalf of?
He was joining us on behalf of Vizio and their some award that they have.
Oh, they're lost.
Yeah. All right. So what's on the back of that sheet? I would like for us to just sit around now. Oh, first of all, let me set this up for the audience. Billy's in charge of Super Bowl planning. We're taking a lot of swings. We're trying to do stuff. We're trying to expand the responsibilities of people with no success. But one of the things that we were trying to do is like, okay, Billy, let's see what we can get off the ground here with Marlin Fest, Sham Fest. That didn't go so well. So now
we actually canceled Shamfest to focus on the Super Bowl.
Oh,
we
really?
concentrated our efforts on
all of our failures.
So this is concentrating all our efforts? This is it?
Yeah, I honed in on Super Bowl week. I said, this isn't going to be another Shamfest.
All right, here's what you need to understand, though, Stugatz. Before he reads you this list of Super Bowl failure, what I want you to understand is that he texted me today with what I think was Plan J or K, and it involves Mina in an escape room.
Spoiler alert. And by the way, there may be a plan K or, L or whatever letters after K. Because I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work out the way we want it to.
Hold on a second. Right. I don't even know what an escape room is. Put on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you know what an escape room is? I don't know what that is. So.
Sounds like a room you try to escape from.
Did you spell escape with an X?
I always do.
Okay. So, Guillermo, what is the list that you have in front of? Do you have Plan A, Plan B, Plan C? Do you have it like that?
I can go back to last Tuesday and what we were planning and how it didn't end up working out, and then what the next move was.
We have arrived in a magical place in sports radio history in terms of pioneering, where we don't get anything actually done, but all the failures give us so much content.
Yes.
So we're able to do the radio show in a way that's funny because we just keep, again, marching band to the corner of a room. It's not even a marching band to nowhere. It's a marching band that sets out to somewhere but ends up marching into the corner of a room.
That's how Columbus found America. So
that is not how Columbus found America.
I think it is.
Put it on the poll.
Just kept marching.
Is that how Columbus found America?
It's kind of different, though. He got credit for finding America, even though he didn't. I'd like the credit for accomplishing something.
That's the thing. It's not this at all. It's not Chris. We are only the Christopher Columbus of discovering failure. Like we're
Columbus.
We keep landing. We keep landing beaching on the shores of failure.
But imagine if one day we accidentally find something like America.
It's going to be great. We keep searching for our America.
And it might be the escape room.
It might be the escape room with Mina. But I thought it was going to be Shamfest until we started canceling Shamfest to coordinate our efforts to concentrate on Super Bowl week. So go ahead and read the list. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, so last Tuesday we started talking about Shamfest, and we started talking about the Super Bowl, and we decided, Shamfest probably won't work out. We don't have enough time to make it work out. Now, we didn't take into account we have even less time to make the Super Bowl work out, where people are planning for that in, October. So, anyways.
The Super Bowl really snuck up on us.
Yeah. We didn't see this one coming.
No idea. Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, when I was talking to the ESPN bagman about money, he's like, the Super Bowl's at the same time every year.
Sal Pal?
I really didn't have anywhere to go with that. Once he shut, I can't keep asking him for money after that. Where he's like, Super Bowl, same time every year. I told people to just tell me earlier what they needed. I'm like, okay, we got no money.
Well, I think our reputation of failure is also catching up to us, which made this one particularly difficult. So last Tuesday or so, we started talking about, what? Let's really focus on the Super Bowl. There's 1,000 things to do at the mall. We can have a lot of fun with this. So we start going and we make this whole list of things we can do at the mall. And then we think, what? This would look really good on TV because a lot of this stuff is going to be visually funny. So let's loop TV into this.
This was decided when? How many days before the Super Bowl?
Wednesday, so 10 days before.
Okay, so you guys learned that the Super Bowl was Sunday 10 days ago, right?
Well, we thought we'd start planning. Listen, 10 days of planning on this show is a lifetime.
Well, that's true. I can't dispute that.
I'd kill for that sort of lead time off.
I can't dispute that.
We thought we were well ahead of all of this. We were not.
He thought 10 days, that's plenty of time. We can't get a camera at ESPN in 10 days. Think about that for a second. Anyway, go ahead.
So then we started saying, you know what? Who can we have do stuff at the Super Bowl? Because we could have Allison, but we should have someone do stuff with Allison, then it'll be fun. So we tried to think who's going to be there because there's not as many people there this year. So we reached out to our friends Gojo and Mina, and we're like, this is great. We're going to be there 3 days. We'll have 3 days of activities. So Gojo said he could give us Wednesday and Friday. Mina said, I can only do Thursday. I said, perfect. We have every day covered. We're going to have activities for everyone all these days. We're going to have a camera. This is great. We'll do the roller coaster, the zip line, escape room, whatever. So we try to get TV involved. That's when things started taking a downward turn.
Wait a minute. Who's going to get blamed for this?
Charlie, hopefully.
Hold it. Is it Charlie? Is it Lorenzo? Is it Bill? Is it Foss? Is it any number of the 40 people working for us in Washington?
Well, TV seems to be like a, professional environment that doesn't do things 10 days in advance. So they were kind of surprised that this is when we're coming to them with this. So then on Friday, I say, you know what? Super Bowl's next week. We really need to settle on a plan. I'm thinking this is great. We already have the talent. This is going to be great. We're going to get a camera. This is going to be easy. So I loop in TV, and they're like, where are we going to get a camera from? So we start calling the mall, and we're like, all right, we'll figure this out. We start coordinating. We make a great contact at the mall. They're going to have us skip all the lines. This is going to be awesome,
okay,
Dan.
So we got a great contact at the mall.
Yeah.
That's an achievement, I guess.
Great contact
That's
at the mall.
accomplishing something. We got a great contact at a Minneapolis mall.
Well, not just that. This contact actually gave us a hot tip that NFL Live had a camera, and she was asking if we were going to be doing the roller coaster with Trey Wingo. And then I'm like, oh, great, Trey Wingo's doing the roller coaster. This isn't as original as I thought it was going to be. That's when my, mental state started going down. And I'm like,
right there,
oh, no.
that's where you started.
That's when we started losing Billy.
Trey's doing the roller coaster.
Is that when that stress hair started appearing on top of your
my
head?
gray hair has doubled this week.
Yeah,
I have 4 now. Yeah.
It's interesting. That's yet another achievement. One of the few things our marching band to nowhere has achieved is growing 4 gray hairs on your face. So let it not be said that this show cannot grow.
Yeah. So we loop in Lorenzo because I figure Lorenzo's a TV guy. He'll handle this TV situation, right? So then Monday comes and I figure, you know what? I gave him the information on Friday. This is great. I'll come in on Monday. Things will be resolved. This is perfect. I come in on Monday and I find out we don't really have the budget that NFL Live wants us to, because they wanted us to split the camera with them because they were only going to use the camera for 4 hours, but they paid for the full day. So, I mean, we could have given them $5 and we're still helping them out. But for whatever reason, we couldn't work out a deal with them. So then we had to shift.
Wait, any amount of money would have helped the NFL Network out?
I would have just written a check.
No, you don't write a check to the NFL Network.
Well, the problem, the main problem, it was NFL Live, NFL Network. That would have been more complicated.
Okay,
fine.
NFL Live. That's a fine. All right.
Well,
Hopefully
Wednesday,
have some money.
we were getting to the point where we were going to be financially exposed with the NFL Live cameras, and I didn't want us to again find ourselves in a situation where we were spending money we didn't have to do nothing. Yeah. We had Marty Smith lined up for Wednesday.
Wait, what?
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to give it away.
Not there yet.
But I wanted to explain why the NFL Live cameras, because that would have been a possible solution, but that went away because of a scheduling conflict.
So once Monday came, our friends started getting booked. So Gojo could no longer do Wednesday because he was going to go ice fishing for Trey's show, and I was like, ice fishing is great. That's so much better than what we had planned. So he was doing that on Wednesday, so he couldn't help us out anymore.
Wow, Trey sounds like he's having a hell of a Super Bowl.
Trey is having a ball. He's done everything up there.
Well, it sounds like because he hosts both shows, NFL Live, Trey has 2 cameras?
Trey probably has at least 2 cameras.
And we can't get one.
Well, he
Trey
has a GoPro also.
Is Trey responsible for us not getting any cameras?
No, we're responsible for us not getting any cameras.
Okay.
So Gojo's not available now. He's going ice fishing. So now it's like, well, now, we still think that we may have a camera on Wednesday, but we don't have talent. So I'm like, this is perfect. Allison will just do it by herself. It'll be fine. I forgot or somehow lost in communication that Allison is unwilling to do any of this stuff on television. She'd do it on radio, but she's not willing to do it on TV. So now we have possibly a camera and no talent. Later on, we found out we don't even have a camera. So then I say, you know what? Whatever, we're not going to give up on this yet. So we're still by Monday. So on Monday, we have a meeting here, and I'm like, guys, we need to figure out what's going to go on. So we start spitballing, and then we go, you know what? Marty Smith's going to be there. Let's check in with Marty, see. We reach out to Wiley. This is great. Wiley says Marty Smith can help us out. This is perfect. And we're like, you know what? Even if we don't get the money for the camera, Marty always has a camera with him.
That's right. That's right.
So we'll just use his camera.
That's right. Whatever. Yes, Marty's always on television.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
a good plan so far.
This is great. I mean, we've already shifted, I think, 2 or 3 times, but Marty's going to be perfect. He's great. He's better. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to, tell Mina, listen, Mina, thanks a lot for, offering to help, but Marty's going to do it, and he's better than you at this.
Yeah, we really thought that we had something with this Marty Smith plan.
Yeah.
That, quite the conundrum there, having to have a conversation with Mina that you wouldn't ever have to actually have because everything failed, and now we're at Mina in an escape room.
Yeah. Well, turns out Marty Smith couldn't really help us out because he was booked doing things. So we found that out maybe an hour or 2 after we thought we had
What
this
was
solved.
he doing?
He's hosting that Butter Bowl or whatever the thing.
He forgot he had the Farm Bowl.
Right. That is perfect for him, though.
He went a half a day. I can't get mad at Marty Smith because he was willing to do this. He was all game, and then he forgot, hey, Lando Lakes and Jerome Bettis came a-calling. I got to host this Farm Bowl.
This is what happens when you get to a Super Bowl. It's exactly the reason you don't like going to Super Bowls. You're pulled in a million different directions. All of a sudden, you're doing stuff you had no idea you were doing.
That's fine. I just, again, want the audience to take inventory on the idea that, A, we, an ESPN show, couldn't get a camera, and B, we lost Marty Smith to the Farm Bowl. I just want you to think of that the next time you think we're an important thing.
We also lost Gojo to Arby's.
Oh, really?
He's doing Arby's today on Radio Row, I think.
Wow.
I don't know.
So they're trotting Gojo around as a guest, sponsored by Arby's? I am jealous.
I think so.
Wait a minute, you'd want to do that?
It'd just be fun to have a sponsor trotting you around Radio Row. Table to table, just giving hot takes. Oh, my God.
I was actually thinking, Go-Go Squeeze should have reached out to me. I would have so done Go-Go Squeeze promos.
I mean, to have a handler, who does? Come on. At some point in your life, who doesn't want to have a handler for a week? That'd be great.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you want a handler?
Well, let's fast forward. So Monday night we find out.
How much more of this is there?
Oh, my God. So we're only 2/3 of the way through the page.
All right.
This is only Monday.
Yeah, this is Monday. So Monday we find out we lose Marty Smith, we lose the camera. We still have Mina, though. We can do something on Thursday now because now Wednesday's out of the picture. And Lorenzo says he's confident. He's talked to the ESPN assignment desk. He'll get us a camera. He just doesn't know exactly what time he'll get us a camera.
Now, keep in mind, we're off Wednesday now, which would have been the NFL Live camera. We would have had that squared away, but since Marty can't do Wednesday and neither can we, and our talent can only do Thursday, we lost the one camera that we had. Okay. But we felt pretty good about getting a camera for Thursday.
So now we plan this all out. We call Mina. We get her to agree. We have a whole schedule of things Mina was supposed to do on Thursday on camera. You want to know what they are?
Sure.
10:45. Mina was going to go to the American Girl doll store, and they have like a breakfast thing. And she was going to have breakfast with the dolls. She was going to interview them and get their thoughts on the Super Bowl. She was going to do voices. It was going to be great. Then she was going to go to the aquarium where they have like a pet tank, and she was going to pet different like fish and stuff, whatever they have in the pet tank.
Mina was going to be our Trey Wingo.
Oh yeah, and Mina is so willing to do all of this stuff, and she hates all of this stuff, but she wants to do it for us because she thinks it'll be funny. Then we were going to do the escape room. Still going to happen, maybe. And then she was going to do the zip line, and she's afraid of heights, adventures, and thrills. But she's going to do it for us.
That would have been good. Her on the phone on a zip line
Yes.
would have been good.
Well, our idea is for her to answer Stugatz' Super Bowl question while she's on the zip line.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Would have been awesome.
Wait a minute. Why are we not doing that?
That potentially can maybe happen.
maybe.
That's got to
Just
be better
no
than
cameras.
the escape room.
Wait, do you have any
cameras.
confidence in any of this happening?
Well,
You're
wait
still
a minute.
holding out
Wait,
hope?
no, I believe.
We've marched into the wall. The back row is now marching with the front row. No one's going anywhere.
Wait a minute.
We can tell that you're sour on this escape
Yeah, we're not done yet. All right. So then Tuesday comes, and we find out we can't use any of those ESPN cameras because they're all going to be at the Eagles presser. So we've lost all our cameras
It's
again.
funny how an Eagles presser for a Super Bowl that's been set in months just sort of popped up as an excuse why we couldn't have a camera.
I don't think Lorenzo ever contacted those cameras.
I
but
feel
whatever.
bad for Lorenzo in this entire situation because he's got so much passion. He cares so much about this show, and he's the one in the marching band that all the other marching band members are mad at.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like all the media got an alert on the phone. Hey, the Eagles are talking now. Well, I guess we got to change everything.
Okay, yeah, we got to rush over there to see what Doug Peterson has to say.
So now we get to yesterday, which is Wednesday.
Oh, jeez.
And Mina still agrees to do whatever we want. So we say, you know what? We've lost this camera, but we could still do a zip line with like an iPhone headset in, and she could talk to us over the headset. And she can do that on the roller coaster, which was always the original plan before we brought in cameras to complicate everything.
Well, let's figure that. Can we figure that out?
Well, yes, we'll get to that. So we tried to do that. So then last night we find out, listen, Mina can't do the escape room by herself. Now we need to find people to do it with her, and Allison can't do it because we have a ton of guests. But we had a plan again, Dan.
Yeah, this is where you're going to love the escape room plan.
She needs 2 other people to do it right away. Dan Stanzik volunteer, so he's going to do it with her, which is great because, you want him on the show.
Good old
you kn- do you-
Dynamite Dan.
Do you know who Dan Stanzik is?
I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
Dynamite Dan.
Dynamite Dan.
Yeah.
Is he a wrestler?
No.
He's formerly Colin Cowherd's
He's-
producer.
yeah,
Now
he's-
he's
yeah.
producing Golic and Wingo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Dynamite Dan.
Dynamite Dan.
Wrestler. I mean.
Okay, so you guys got a big get there.
That's just one of them.
We got Dynamite Dan, and then I find out, guess who's going to be on Golic and Wingo today?
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers. Mina's friends with Aaron Rodgers. She was going to go say what's up to him, and I go, Mina, if you got Aaron Rodgers to do this escape room with us, you would be a god. That was around 8 o'clock last night. I didn't hear anything from her after that. Then around, 12 this morning, I got a text from her. I saw it this morning when I woke up. She said, you know what? Bill Barnwell is in on the escape room.
Megastar.
Wow. Stanzik and Barnwell.
Man, that must have been so disappointing when Aaron Rodgers wanted to do the escape room and we had to tell him, no, I'm sorry, we're going with Bill Barnwell. Stugatz is ready for the Super Bowl. I'm not making this up. He just bet Team Fluff in the Puppy Bowl
I sure did. Minus 115.
as a prop bet.
Yeah.
That Heat game last night, woof. 3 for 28 from 3. How are you playing for the game on the end on the road? And the way that game ended is exactly how the Heat season will end. And the reason the Heat season will end, it's because it's James Johnson going at LeBron one-on-one, and you've got no chance. The ball's not going to go into the basket.
First player ever to just dribble out the clock when he's down 2. I mean, what was it? He was just so scared of LeBron blocking the shot. And LeBron, to his credit, amazing defense on the play. But you got to get a shot off in that situation.
Well, he
kind of hesitated there, right? He needed just to
He
go
knew-
straight
he
to
knew-
the rim
he
and
knew
take
he
a
was
shot.
guarding him. No,
Yeah.
he knows who's guarding him.
Right.
Like that's what will separate them when they play in the playoffs too.
It wasn't just that moment. James Johnson was terrible last night. He was awful. He made so many bonehead plays, and when you see what the final spread was in that game, any one of them could have won the game for the Miami Heat. He was bad. They were terrible from the line. Historically bad from 3.
The 3-point, Stugatz, look at the 3-point shooting of Tyler Johnson and Kelly Olynyk, and nobody can make a shot last night.
Well, Olynyk was 0 of 6. Tyler 1 of 7. Dragic 1 of 5. Johnson, 0 for 2. Richardson, 1 of 4. Like, yeah, they were off last night.
Ellington, 0 for 3, 0 for 4.
Still in the game, though, man.
It was their worst three-point percentage ever whenever they've attempted more than 25 three-point attempts in a game. That's 285 games. What you saw was the worst three-point performance in franchise history.
Still in the game is a salute to their defense. That you can score only 89 points. I'm guessing the Cavs haven't had that successful a defensive stand all season. Let's just look at the game logs. Let's look at the game logs, and you tell me how many times someone has scored fewer than 89 points this season against that atrocious defense.
Checking it right now. Isaiah, plus you had a night where Isaiah and LeBron were combined 10 for 36. I mean, that's got to be a win. But I'm checking it right now.
The way that game went at the end, and this is no indictment of James Johnson. He's a vastly lesser version of LeBron. So if at the end of the game you've got 5 seconds left, the play can't be, hey, James, go do something against LeBron.
Right.
Like he's just a vastly lesser, like he's a lesser Draymond Green. Draymond Green is a lesser LeBron James. James Johnson isn't going to get you a good shot in that situation.
I don't see a single game on the Cavs schedule in which they've given up less than 89 points. That was their best defensive performance of the year.
But it wasn't. It's just that he didn't make anything. The idea of shooting that from 3 is brutal. And the Cavs are in total disarray. Like you have to go and beat that team.
There was only one game where they were better defensively. It was at Detroit, November 20th. They were better by a point, 88 points. So that was
that's a fine for Stugotz. That is a fine.
Is it, man? I was trying to do it while I was talking to you.
But you read the internet wrong.
A fine is a fine.
Stugotz, fine's a fine. Stugotz is now he is now respecting the fine system.
Yeah, well, hopefully I have some money on me. I don't.
Oh, for the love of God.
Whoa, hey, looky. Found $1. All
right, so now
is that what I owe?
No, it's 3 now.
What do you mean it's 3? It was buried in between credit cards and stuff. I didn't know it was there. I owe $3 now?
You get fined $1 every time you read the internet wrong.
Right.
You get fined $1 every time that you say you don't have the dollar.
Oh.
And you get fined $1 every time that you say you don't have the dollar, and we learn that you did have the dollar.
I said, hopefully I have some money on me. I mean, is that not a loophole?
Okay, fair enough. What do you think, Mike? I think I'm willing to allow that. Saying hopefully.
It's like you asking a name without saying it first. You're asking us, hey, is this the name, right?
You are an amazing liar that you put that hopefully in there and then chronicled the hopefully on the back end. You are skilled liar, sir. Malcolm Gladwell says it says 10,000 hours of doing anything to be an expert at it.
I'm well above that.
You, sir. That was amazing what you just did there in order to save money. That was a Stugotz masterpiece in how to cover your tracks. I said, hopefully. And I'm like, wow, Stugotz remembered something that he said.
No one is more surprised than me.
I mean, right? Yeah, Stugotz doesn't remember. Stugotz has had takes on Mike and Mike. Hold on a second. We've got some of those somewhere. Stugotz has had takes on Mike and Mike that both have started in one place, and then the place that they end is a direct contradiction to where it is that it started. And we've also got a handful of items where Stugotz gets caught up in the air counting items and then forgets what is the third and fourth thing on his list. So Stugotz can forget the point that he's trying to make. He does not forget how he tried to cover up the lie with the hopefully, but congratulations, you saved $2 because saying hopefully I have money.
Right. Saved me.
Saved you. And I think it might be a loophole you carry into the future.
We have a sound of him contradicting himself.
Oh,
okay, great.
In 12 seconds.
All right, great.
All right, in 12 seconds.
Can't wait for this. Pretty incredible last night. I watched the first half of that game, and he had 46 points and 15 rebounds and 7 assists and 7 blocks, and he was 2 of 3 from 3. I watched that entire game. He's fantastic. I'm not certain Ben Simmons isn't better.
So how much of the game did you watch? Hold on, let me hear that again.
Yeah. Pretty incredible last night. I watched the first half of that game, and he had 46 points and 15 rebounds and 7 assists and 7 blocks, and he was 2 of 3 from 3. I watched that entire game. He's fantastic. I'm not certain Ben Simmons isn't better. I think what I was telling you was like, I was telling you, hey, I watched the first half, here's what he did, and then I was saying, and I watched the second half, but I just said the entire game. I think that's what happened.
Amazing liar, amazing at covering your tracks. See if you can find that sound of Stugotz on Mike and Mike making 3 points and having point 3 being the same as point number 1. I don't know how you find that in your library. I don't know how Mike Ryan's library works.
Sometimes they're hard to search for. I got lucky with searching contradicts.
Really? Okay.
Oh, you found it.
Oh, nice. No, that's how he found that you watched half of the game and then the whole game 12 seconds later.
So you didn't put this one in that file? The
contradicts
file?
Different file.
How do you
labeled
label
that
this?
way. Okay, I got it.
Point 3 is same as point 1.
No, I think, okay, yes. Stugotz repeats a point. Let's see what that brings up on your computer. I can do a whole show of just reminiscing about Stugotz stuff. You want to do it today? You want to blow out the guest list of Mark Ingram, Von Miller, Kenny G, and Terry Bradshaw, and Mina Kimes, and Bill Barnwell?
No. We can't
come
blow
on.
it. Barnwell's coming up. Barnwell's happening.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else I'm fine with, but Barnwell and Stanzik.
This one came up when we searched Stugotz repeats.
I think Eli passed up an opportunity here to A, keep his streak alive, B, maybe he plays the whole game, and, C, it kind of prolongs that streak that I think he cares deeply about, and he should care deeply about it. It's an impressive streak.
Yeah, I did that.
And that's where we came up with the assembly line in your head.
Yeah, I did that too. All day on Tuesday.
Well, they don't know about that. Amin had an idea on the show one time. He had an idea where there are 15 Stugotzes inside of Stugotz producing the take, and they're all panicked. They all think like Stugotz. They're various forms of Stugotz. And so some of them are yelling, what about me? What do I get out of this? While the others are trying to formulate the take. And so last Tuesday, Stugotz, with a camera we were successfully able to procure, Stugotz and Dominique started filming a skit that will run where? Where is that going?
I have no idea. I don't even know what I did. All I know is I was here the entire time with Charlie in my ear, just annoying me and annoying Guillermo. I mean, just a complete disaster. I mean, Charlie wasn't even there the entire time. You're going to ask me to do something? I mean, Charlie checks in, okay? He chops 6 hours into the thing, and Charlie checks in, and I figure Charlie is going to stay for as long as me and Billy have to stay. Nope, Charlie checks in from his couch. He's at home on his couch checking in to make sure everything's going smoothly. It would have went a lot smoother if you planned for it correctly, Chaz.
Wow. So we continued to do Super Bowl week poorly.
Yep.
Von Miller will join us today. Mark Ingram will join us today. Terry Bradshaw will join us today. How do you feel so far about Super Bowl week?
I feel great. I do. I mean, I know you hate this week, but I love this week because of how much you hate this week.
Okay. Roy nods in agreement. Like that's
it's funny, man.
Yeah, you guys enjoy how much I don't enjoy this week, but I find a kind of odd enjoyment in mocking this week. Like get the ability to disrespect it at every turn. I am finding joy in that. What did we do yesterday? One of the interviews yesterday,
T.O.?
Yeah,
T.O. And we were making fun of the entire process with Stefan Diggs Tuesday. It's actually been pretty good content, the interviews that we've gotten from Radio Row so far.
Agreed. Yeah, guys have been fun. Bettis was fun. I mean, we've had some fun with our guests. I'm happy. I think we've done, and Kenny G every day just to light up our lives, man. It's great. And we just badger Sims now.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you ever get angry at a Charlie and call him Chaz?
And I got to think Jackie Chan is coming on today. I have to. I mean, I asked, listen, I'm telling you, you underestimate how much Kenny G loves this show and loves us. And I'm telling you, he's going to deliver Jackie Chan. And if not, I'm going to ask him to deliver Phil Mickelson, lefty.
You overestimate how Kenny G
probably do.
Loves our show.
I tend to do that.
And what he would do. That is a funny thing that Stugotz, what is happening there with the mighty Stugotz, where he is simply assuming that somebody loves him more than that person, loves him and what he does more than that person may love him and what he does.
And he completely forgets that old lefty over there once threatened us with a cease and desist because we read a story from Media Takeout once.
You know, I told Dan that the other day. He had no idea.
Wait a minute.
The fact that you remembered it
Yeah.
and still are pushing on this lefty thing.
You never know. I mean, hey, you got Kenny G in the middle. You never know.
Wait a minute. I knew that Phil Mickelson was angry at our show. I did not know the details of a lawsuit. And what did we say on MediaTakeout.com?
You were reading a story from MediaTakeout.com. It was I thought we couched it with this is MediaTakeout.com, and a lot of their stuff ends up being fake news. But that wasn't good enough for Phil, and he was obviously denying that story strongly to the point that he was threatening lawsuits, to the point that it made me believe him quite strongly. Sorry, Mr. Mickelson.
Okay. So that's what did we publicly apologize?
No, we just stopped. We told them,
Right.
Yep, we get it.
We will desist.
We will cease and desist.
Well, wait a minute.
We could do the public thing when Kenny G brings him on this week.
Can you guys help me out here? Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you ever hear the word desist if it's not with cease? And furthermore, here's where I'm confused on desist. I must not know what it means. I thought ceasing was the same as desisting. So,
Redundant?
well, it can't be redundant. I must not know what desist means, because why would it be cease and desist?
But I just searched desist synonym, and the first one is cease.
Okay, so what is it? Is it stop, really stop? Is
Yeah.
that it's a
I think
lawyer.
it's to hammer
Yeah,
home
yeah.
the
It's-
point.
okay.
Cease
Yeah.
and
Yes.
cease.
Okay, stop.
If you didn't understand the cease, then desist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
And it sounds better than cease and abstain.
Hold on, but isn't cease enough?
No, clearly
no,
not.
clearly
You
Yeah.
need a couple of extra syllables from the lawyer. Like
Yeah.
if he tells you to cease, you're like,
A lot of them may be charged by the word. I don't know. Cease, desist, and abstain.
Right.
That's the next level.
But if you just get, to Dan's point, it's a fair question. If you just get a cease, you're like, no big deal.
a lawyer said,
You get a desist.
Wait, it's a cease and a desist. Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa! Stop! Really, stop! Wow, I just learned something there.
All right.
Did you guys learn something there?
Nope.
I never really gave it thought.
Haven't learned anything in years.
All right. So cease and desist is redundant.
Yep.
And for that reason, we can't have Phil Mickelson on.
Guillermo, can you put it on the poll? Is cease and desist redundant? I don't think that if people are listening to this show that they're not thinking about this right now, it's just something that ends up on their Twitter timeline. I think that people are going to be given a golden nugget of vocabulary there.
The
if
legal-
you care about such things.
I guess the legal explanation as to why it's a cease and desist. The reason why it's a cease and desist
Right.
apparently is cease.
I'm sure there's some sort
Well,
of legal explanation.
Cease is apparently stop what you're doing, and desist is don't ever do it again.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, that is different, though. Stop what you're doing. You're like, okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Well-
And don't ever do it again. You're like, okay, I get your point.
Well, they gotta get on Google, these attorneys, because when you type in desist synonym, cease, number one on the board.
Complicates things. So are you excited to talk to these people today? Von Miller, Mark Ingram, and Terry Bradshaw? Do we have any surprises? Is the guest list booked?
Bill Barnwell.
Yeah. And Stanzik. I'm excited for Bradshaw. He's always fun with us. I don't know about Mark Ingram. I think Von Miller's, we've had him on once. He was fun. He was good. So, yeah, I guess I'm excited. I don't know why we're not getting Aaron Rodgers. What's going on there? Friend
Well,
of the show. I
don't know. Maybe Mina can ask him to join him. Stanzik, Barnwell, Mina, all in the escape room with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to need some help here because in the history of random things that this show has done in the name of entertainment, this Stanzik fella that you guys are throwing at my lap,
Yeah. He's a great guy.
it's a very weird selection by you guys.
It's Dynamite Dan.
In all honesty, it's just the body. We needed 3 people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, we needed 3 people.
Okay. Well, that's disappointing. I liked it better as the funny random thing.
Yeah, Dynamite Dan.
Right. No, I like it better.
You
as
ruined it, Bill. is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, not only did he ruin it, like I have just never been, I've never found our show to be more impotent than it is right now. You know what? Excuse me. Audience, I swear this never happened. I'm sorry about this impotence. It never happens. Usually it's just great sex. This never happened. Where you're telling me that at the height of the Super Bowl, our big bad national show has to summon a third body, and what we can get to do it is a person that is called Dynamite Dan.
Yep.
Now, I know you don't think it's sexy, Dynamite Dan.
Yeah, he hasn't met him.
Yeah. Or our guest list from Super Bowl Radio Row. Other shows are getting Aaron Rodgers, but there are all sorts of surprises at Radio Row. You never know who might drop in. I could just put out a bat signal right now and find out who's there. Let me see who's over there.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
Gojo.
Wait, I thought you were busy today.
Listen, there's a lot going on out here. I'm still recovering from the ice fishing. I feel bad. I had to miss out in the escape room with Allison and Mina and everyone.
Why? Why are you missing out on that? Why?
Because they got me over here at Radio Row trying to be professionally Stu Gotts in this area. I'm trying to go here and wield takes from table to table.
But you took money from Arby's, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm proud of you.
Listen, if I'm going to basically prematurely kill myself, I'm at least going to get paid for it.
All right. Good work.
Yeah.
What is going on with Arby's? Can you tell us the nature of that transaction?
Essentially, I just started relentlessly tweeting at them about how much I wanted to eat their Meat Mountain sandwich.
I've taught you well.
And eventually, they decided to direct message me. I thought it was going to just be to tell me to stop.
Cease and desist.
Yes, I thought it was going to be a cease and desist, but apparently they really like how fat most of my follower base is.
Yeah,
and they felt like we could do something.
The sports radio base. Is there anything? Guillermo, put that on the poll. Is there anything fatter than the sports radio audience?
Or the Golic-specific sports radio audience.
Oh, that's an even better
specific
one.
to your family.
We do have a slightly different audience.
It reeks like high blood pressure and pre-diabetes.
So you decide to do this for Arby's.
I mean, I believe their show logo is a donut.
Is this going well for you, the Arby's
Well, I think
transaction?
he's done it yet. I don't know.
It's gone well so far. I got them already to buy me lunch for an entire week.
What else are you getting, may I ask? Like, I'm prying in there only because the nature of these transactions is something that we're trying to get at this week. Like, what are people paid to wander around there and sell their dignity?
Well, they actually paid me in a pair of full-body sweatpants covered in images of meat called the Meat Sweats.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Solid negotiation right there.
That's pretty good.
My dignity is for sale for very little. Right.
What else, though? Is that
There's
it?
no money?
That's
Gojo,
it?
there's no money?
Oh, no, there's money.
Okay, good.
Oh, well, that part he keeps leaving out.
Yes,
and that's
yes.
the
We're
part,
wondering how much, Gojo.
That's the part I'm digging in on there because we want to understand why Tony Saragusa is walking around with crumbs on his shirt, spitting at everybody that they should buy flour.
I'm trying to get in the Jerome Bettis. Wasn't he slinging butter on your guys' show?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
That's the world I want to live in.
Yeah. You did a great
Just
job
walking
of
around.
dodging the question, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
It was very clearly more than we were offering for the escape room.
Okay, this is, and on this note, Dignity Seller, you and your meat sweatpants are going to get out of here for not answering our questions. Get out of here.
Fair enough. Nice talking to you finally, Dan.
I don't ever want to talk to you again. If those are the answers we're going to get to our questions, be honest. Give us a sum. I don't feel like that's obviously an awful question to ask anybody.
Right.
But I feel like that's a pretty safe space to ask it. Like, I want to find out. In fact, I feel like our goal for the rest of the week should be to find somebody who can tell us what this stuff pays.
Knock yourself out, man. This is what our Radio Row is. This is why we wanted the guest. You do your wacky stuff. Just don't ask Terry Bradshaw about the Tide Pod Challenge. It's on the list. Don't ask. No, you cannot do that, okay? Do that. Also, he's an old man. He doesn't even know what the hell that is. Yeah, right. What's a payoff there?
Wait a minute. We've agreed to interview limits with Terry Bradshaw over the Tide Pod?
Yeah, you can't talk to him about Tide Pod Challenge. And I figured, you know what? I don't think Dan's going to ask Terry Bradshaw
Is he
about
selling
people.
Tide?
Yeah, he's selling Tide Pods.
And we can't talk about the Tide Pod? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he's actually on behalf of Arby's, but you can't ask him about the Tide Pod Challenge. No, you can't. He's selling Tide Pods. You can't ask him about people
Mike,
eating Tide Pods.
Okay, look. Understood. All your points. Totally valid and fair. It wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing in the world if Terry Bradshaw was coming to us on behalf of Arby's and for some reason said, you can't ask me about Tide Pods. Like, that is what the Super Bowl is.
I follow you.
So
But
it's not quite as dumb as you guys think it is.
I understand why Tide Pod wouldn't want those questions.
Well, but this makes me, and help me out here, because you know how much I enjoy disrespecting these things. This makes me, and if it wouldn't make Jimmy Johnson mad at me, it makes me want to ask Terry Bradshaw nothing but Tide Pod questions.
That puts Allison in such a terrible spot. Yeah. Clearly you value Jimmy Johnson's opinion more than Allison's.
Well, but Allison's opinion is funny. Like, that can produce funny content if we're making her hugely uncomfortable while asking Terry Bradshaw only the questions that the handlers have asked us not to ask. But I'm always putting Allison in bad spots. Are you hearing what we're talking about, Allison?
Of course. Yeah.
Great get with Gojo, by the way.
I think you should lead with every guest. Ask them how much they're making.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the bad part of this? Hold on a second. That's the second bad part of this. The worst part of it is what happens with my relationship with you if all the questions to Terry Bradshaw are uncomfortably about the Tide Pod that they've asked us to not ask about.
At that point, I will leave.
What do you
I'll leave.
You'll leave Minnesota or leave the show?
Yeah.
Who's laughing next to you? Is that still that damn meat sweats guy hanging around? That Golic appendage is still hanging around, not giving us answers to our questions?
I'll talk about Tide Pods all you want, Dan.
How much money are you getting paid,
right?
man?
Like, that's the place where you could end our quest, our investigative quest. You could end it in 5 minutes to just tell us, what does it pay to shill Arby's shamelessly at the Mall of America?
Oh, about $5,000.
Oh,
yeah.
Send my commission.
Yeah, we got an answer. That's hard-hitting journalism. Oh. Why was that so hard for him?
I don't know.
Because it's an awful question. That's why. That's why you like him, right? Because he's willing to go down these paths with you.
Gojo will go down just about any path. Yes, absolutely.
Damn, 5 Gs though.
I know, I'm jealous.
Really?
Right? I thought
racked up at the
I
Super
thought it might
Bowl.
be more.